Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast is Nice or Kind, Seeing the Difference and Living from the Heart. And this came up for me a few years ago. I went on a date with someone I met online. There wasn't really a romantic connection, but that night shifted something inside of me. This man was kind. Not just polite, not just considerate, but truly kind. As he spoke about his children, his sister, the people he worked with, I could feel that his heart was open. He cared about others in a way that included them as part of himself. He wasn't trying to impress me, and it wasn't performative. His generosity was quiet, but real. And I remember thinking, this is what kindness feels like. And that night helped me understand something I hadn't quite seen before, the difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice comes from the mind. It's about manners, rules, expectations. We're actually taught to be nice so people like us, so we fit in, so we'll avoid conflict or we'll get ahead at work. And yes, niceness makes the world smoother. Niceness gives the world order, but it's also fragile. Nice people can be inconsistent because niceness depends on how safe they feel, or it could depend on getting something that they want. So if someone that's nice feels threatened, embarrassed, or uncomfortable, that niceness can disappear. And it's not always conscious, like the person you're dealing with is out to get you. Instead, it's a survival strategy, a way possibly they were taught, or maybe how they decided to be. And that's why nice can hurt us, because it looks like love until life gets messy. And maybe you've had someone in your life who seemed so wonderful, generous, attentive, easy to be around, until you needed something real. And then suddenly they pulled away, turned cold, or disappointed you. And that kind of hurt runs deep. It's confusing. It makes us question our judgment, our worth, even our understanding of the nature of people. Kindness comes from the heart. It's not a behavior. It's a way of being. A kind person doesn't have to be liked to act. They don't have to agree with you to care about you. Kindness is rooted in connection, in the understanding that we are not separate, that your well-being and my well-being are part of the same whole. So a kind person doesn't always say what's easy. They say what's true. They don't disappear when things get hard. They stay present even when it is uncomfortable. And sometimes kindness doesn't even look nice. It might be setting a boundary. It might be telling someone a hard truth. It might be saying no with love. Because the essence of kindness isn't about pleasing. It's about caring deeply, honestly, and consistently. We can begin to notice in our own lives who shows up when things fall apart. Who tells you the truth when it's hard? Who cares about our well-being when it costs them something? And that's where kindness lives. And this clarity doesn't just help us see others, it helps us see ourselves. Because sometimes we're the one that was being nice. We say yes when we mean no. We want people to like us. We want something, so we act a certain way. And we haven't been totally honest in our relationships because we're afraid it'll cost us love. But when we start living kindly from our hearts, we move from our own fear to love. We can act from genuine connection instead of trying to control a situation to feel more safe. And our lives start to become more authentic, even when it's not easy. But then we have people in our lives that reflect back that kindness, because we are taking people as we would take ourselves. And that creates a new type of world. New friends, new opportunities, a new path for us to walk on. Because our own niceness is often fear-based. We're trying to control the outside world by acting in a certain way so people like us and they give us opportunities. And I'm not saying you're in a business meeting, you don't know the person that you're speaking to that well. You're going to be nice. But when we say authentic within ourselves, we can generate more types of kindness in our lives and in the world. So, yes, there's always a place for niceness in our lives. But if you really look at it, it becomes very fear driven, very grasping, and very inconsistent. And if you play on that field, those are the type of people that you will be playing with. And you might be thinking you're going to get what you want, but people in your life are going to fall short. Because nice people are not always there at the end of the day. And nice people are not always the ones that you can count on. So how can we even think about this? So right now, if you can, try to take a deep breath and think of someone who's disappointed you. Someone who was nice but not kind. Notice what that brings up. You might feel sadness, anger, confusion, and that is okay. Now say quietly to yourself, this hurt showed me how I value love and kindness and what I want in my life. Because that's true, you were hurt because you were open. You were trusting. You wanted connection, and that is something beautiful, and you should not let the world destroy that dream. And you should not let other people tell you your vision of the world and the vision you want to live. Now think of someone who is kind, someone who loves, feels steady and real. Breathe in the feeling of safety that they give you. That's what real connection feels like. And now, finally bring your awareness to your own heart and ask yourself, where could I be more kind today? Not because it's easy, because it's true. Where can I take another as my own? Where can I take another's well-being as my well-being? How can I keep my heart open so I can experience the life that I truly deserve, that I value, and that I want to experience? And keep going back to this. Every time you meet someone, a friend, a stranger, even someone difficult, and try to say, how can I take this person as part of myself? And you might not want to. We have a right to be nice in our daily interactions. It's our choice how open we can be to another person, because sometimes our openness can injure ourselves. So we have to make sure that we are being kind to ourselves first. It's like, again, putting on the oxygen mask first. To be kind to ourselves is to respect who we are, to value ourselves, to be authentic. And when we're in that solid, coherent place, then we can ask, can I take this person as part of myself in this moment? And see how that changes the way you respond. See if it softens your edges, your grasping, your need to control. And that's how we begin to live kindly. Not from fear, but from love. And the truth is, when you start choosing kindness over niceness, you stop performing and you start connecting. Instead of seeking everybody's approval and worrying what everyone's thinking, you start holding your authenticity, your coherence. And in that shift, you start to find freedom because you're living it the way you want. And even though niceness makes the world smoother, kindness makes your life real and true. And in the end, pretty awesome. It heals, it grounds, and it brings us closer to one another. Really, that intimacy, that connection that we long for. But we let the rest of the world dictate how much we're going to open our heart. So when we open it first, that's when we start to have more kindness to the world, and the world will reflect back. And perhaps all of us can choose over time, again and again, to live kindly from our heart, to be open to the world the way we want to be, and to attract the right people into our lives, to open to our dreams, make uncertainty our best friend, because in a loving and more kind world, for all we know, maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you could email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe, A Year Without Men, Maybe Everything's Okay, A Parent's Guide to Less Stress and Worry, they're available at all major bookstores and online retailers. If you'd like to buy my Maybe cards or my Maybe digital journal, they're available on Etsy and my Stand store. And most of all, if you like this podcast, I hope you subscribe and leave a comment.